Have you ever looked at someone who speaks flawless English, confident, articulate, effortless, and thought, they must be naturally talented? They probably lived abroad. They just have a gift for languages. Maybe you've been studying for years. Maybe you've taken courses, downloaded apps, watched videos, saved vocabulary lists. Maybe you can understand a lot, but when it's your turn to speak, your mind goes blank. And then the comparison begins. How are they so fluent already? Why am I still translating in my head? Am I just bad at this? Maybe languages aren't for me. If you've ever felt that frustration, if you've ever studied hard and still felt invisible, then this story is for you. Because once there was someone exactly like you, and everything changed after one conversation. Stay with me until the end. In a crowded European city lived a 29-year-old engineer named Daniel. Daniel had a dream. He wanted to work internationally. He wanted to travel. He wanted to sit at a table full of global professionals and speak confidently in English. So he started studying. Every day after work, podcasts on the commute, flashcards before bed, grammar exercises on weekends. 3 years. 3 years of effort. And what did Daniel have? He could read articles. He could understand YouTube videos. He could write decent emails. But speaking? His voice would shake. His sentences would break. His mind would freeze. Meanwhile, his social media feed told a different story. From zero to fluent in 6 months. Speak like a native in 90 days. Unlock fluency fast. He saw a former classmate giving presentations in English on LinkedIn. Another friend had moved abroad. Someone younger than him was already leading international meetings. Daniel started to shrink inside. One evening, after struggling through a simple conversation at a networking event, he walked home in silence. "I've been studying for years," he thought. "Why does it feel like I'm not moving?" A week later, he met his old university professor, Elena, a linguist who had spent 30 years teaching languages. They sat in a quiet cafe. Before Elena could even ask how he was, Daniel said, "I think I'm wasting my time." She raised an eyebrow. "Wasting it how?" "I study every day, but I don't sound fluent. I'm not confident. Other people improve so fast. Maybe I don't have the ear. Maybe I'm just not built for languages." Elena listened carefully. Then she pulled out a napkin and drew something. A bamboo plant. "Do you know how bamboo grows?" she asked. Daniel shook his head. "For years," she said, "nothing appears above the ground. You water it, you fertilize it, you wait, and it looks like nothing is happening." She drew a long line under the ground. But underground, roots are spreading, expanding, strengthening, building a network deep and wide. She paused. And then in one single season, bamboo can grow almost a meter per day. Daniel stared at the drawing. "So what are you saying?" "You think fluency is the part above the ground, the confident speaking, the smooth sentences, the presentations." She tapped the roots underground. But real fluency is built here. Vocabulary stored in long-term memory, listening patterns recognized subconsciously, grammar structures internalized, pronunciation muscles trained slowly over time, confidence built through tiny exposures. "You don't see roots," she continued. "You don't applaud roots. But without them, the bamboo would collapse the moment it grows." Daniel sat back. "So all this time, you've been growing roots," she said softly. He frowned. "But why don't I feel fluent?" Elena smiled. "Because fluency is not a switch, it's a threshold." She explained, "For years, the brain absorbs patterns. It struggles, it hesitates, it translates. But one day, after enough exposure, something clicks. Not because of one lesson, not because of one conversation, but because the roots are finally strong enough to support growth above the surface. You're comparing someone else's bamboo season to your root season. That sentence stayed with Daniel. Root season. He went home differently that day. Nothing external changed. He still stumbled sometimes. He still forgot words. He still felt awkward. But instead of asking, "Why am I not fluent yet?" he started asking, "Am I growing roots today?" Some days that meant listening carefully to one podcast. Some days it meant having one uncomfortable 5-minute conversation. Some days it meant shadowing pronunciation alone in his room. Invisible work. Root work. Months passed. Then a year. Something subtle began to happen. He stopped translating as much. He reacted faster. He made mistakes, but he kept talking. During one meeting, he realized he had spoken for 3 full minutes without freezing. He didn't notice when it happened. There was no dramatic breakthrough, just accumulated roots finally supporting visible growth. 2 years later, Daniel moved to an international company. At first, he was nervous, but this time when he spoke, his words didn't feel fragile. They felt grounded, solid. Colleagues started saying, "Your English is amazing. How did you learn so fast?" Fast? 5 years of roots, hundreds of awkward conversations, thousands of quiet repetitions, countless moments of doubt. No overnight fluency, only overnight visibility. One evening after leading his first international presentation, Daniel called Elena. "It happened," he said. She laughed gently. "The bamboo grew." "Was the waiting necessary?" he asked. Elena didn't hesitate. "If you had grown this fast in year 1, you would have collapsed. You didn't just learn words, you built thinking patterns. You built cultural awareness. You built resilience. That's why you're stable now." Stable. That word meant everything. My friend, wherever you are in your language journey, understand this. You are not behind. You are not incapable. You are not slow. You are in your root season. The world only celebrates the visible part, the confident speaker, the polished accent, the viral fluency video. But every fluent person has an underground story. Years of mistakes, embarrassment, silence, persistence. Stop comparing your underground growth to someone else's above-ground moment. Instead, ask yourself, did I water my roots today? Did I expose myself to the language today? Did I speak, even imperfectly? Did I build depth? Because depth creates stability. And when your moment comes, when you suddenly realize you're thinking in English, when conversations flow, when confidence feels natural, people will say you're talented. They'll say you're lucky. They'll say it happened quickly. But you'll know the truth. It didn't happen quickly. It happened deeply. Keep growing your roots. Your bamboo season is closer than you think.